All right, hello, wine drinking people. Today is Friday, April 15th. Going to be taking down a whole lot of Barolo and vintage Madeira tonight, the start of the Great Wine Seminar. That's right, folks. We're going to have a lot to talk about than what I drank yesterday. Part of the first part of next week, man. We met like 8 shows probably. Anyways, what do we got to sell you today? We have got another great tasting coming up 2 weeks from tonight, with one of the legendary producers in Napa Valley, Robert Mondavi Winery. That's right, folks. We will be tasting Robert Mondavi Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon back to 1974. A legendary vintage in the Napa Valley. The first vintage that Tim started making wine, Robert Mondavi Winery. The winery was started in 1966. And Bob, I think Michael was the first winemaker. And Bob Mondavi, of course, one of the icons of the California wine industry. To be able to taste some of these great old legendary vintages like 74, 78, and then some wines in the early 80s that did not get great press. But I can tell you, I've had these wines since I picked up this cellar. I've been opening up bottles, and they are just beautiful. Even the 83, which got 82 points, which, hey, I was happy with 82 points when I scored that on a test in school. That's a B. But for some reason, as a reserve Cabernet Sauvignon from a producer like Robert Mondavi, 82 points is a failing score, it seems. Well, not something most people won't invest $100 or more a bottle in anyways. But these old wines from Mondavi, I don't know whether Tim pissed off the press, as I mentioned in an email yesterday, or, because that does happen. These guys are influenced by the personalities that make these wines. And I think Tim's wines were a little bit more understated, a little bit more old world in style. And, God, if you look at wines like the 79 Opus 1, I think that's one of the great old California wines that I've had over the last few years. I've been lucky enough to drink it 2 times, and both times it was perfect, near perfect bottle. Just beautiful stuff. A lot of people's favorite wine on the table was the oldest wine from Opus. And hey, we've got a couple vintages of Opus 1, the 1997 vintage, the 1999 vintage that we are going to put against the Robert Mondavi Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. So it should be a battle royale here, and a wonderful 4-course meal. Tony will be preparing from Wine Watch Catering, and we've got about 15 seats. We will have the new room in the back here fully operational by then. And check it out on today's email. Also, all of the Robert Mondavi Reserve Cabernet that we've got in the store to sell you. And a great deal on the 2007 Reserve, which we have just received. Another great vintage from Napa Valley. Check it out on today's email. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.